Hello, fellow users of the pot. Today, I'm going to do something new. I spent a week at the Jazz Fest in New Orleans, had lots of great meals down there. So today I'm going to try to make jambalaya and see if I can recreate what Lori and I ate down in New Orleans. Here are all the ingredients. A tablespoon of vegetable oil, 12 ounces of andouille sausage, 3 boneless, skinless chicken thighs, 1 onion, 1 red bell pepper, 2 celery ribs, 3 garlic cloves, 2½ teaspoons of Creole seasoning, 3/4 teaspoon of thyme, half a teaspoon of salt, 1½ cups of long grain rice, 1 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes with juice, a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, 2 cups of chicken broth, 2 bay leaves, a teaspoon of Tabasco sauce, a pound of large shrimp peeled and deveined, 1 tablespoon chopped fresh parsley. I am adding to this recipe, I'm going to use a half a pound of okra, and I have a couple of fish fillets, and I'm using chicken breasts instead of chicken thighs. I'm using a different kind of hot sauce. The first order of business for me is to chop all of this stuff up. So I'll do that now. Now we're going to start to cook. The first thing to do is saute the meat. So I'm going to turn the pot to saute, wait for it to get hot, and then add the meat. This recipe comes from spicysouthernkitchen.com. The instructions for the recipe says first you cook the sausage, then the chicken, but I'm going to do it backwards because my sausage is already pre-cooked. So I'm not going to worry about that so much. So I'm going to do the chicken first, then the sausage, then the vegetables. Now that the chicken is thoroughly cooked, I'm going to take it out of here and do the sausage and fish. Well, as often happens when I'm cooking, I forget to follow the instructions. So I was supposed to take half of the Creole seasoning, I have Cajun seasoning, and sprinkle it on the chicken as I cooked it. And I forgot. So what I'm going to do now is sprinkle it on as it's in the bowl. No, I think that's browned enough. Get that out of there and now do the onions. I'm going to switch to a wooden spoon so I can get the stuff off the bottom. I'll try something metallic. Throw in the rest of the vegetables. Oh, it's getting nice and juicy in there. It's time to add all of the other stuff. 2 teaspoons of seasoning, Cajun seasoning, 3/4 teaspoon of thyme, 1 can of diced tomatoes, 1½ cups of rice, long grain, a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, 2 cups of chicken broth, a couple of bay leaves, I have some Congo hot sauce. Now I add the sausage and the chicken and the fish, stir it all together. Now you don't add the shrimp until it's done pressure cooking. Shrimp, parsley, and green onions. So now we put the top on. We set the pressure cooker to pressure cook for 7 minutes. We make sure that our valve is in the seal position. And then while I wait for it to come up to pressure and cook, I'm going to chop the parsley, the green onions, and clean up a little bit. So the pot is done pressure cooking. Did it 7 minutes. Now I do a quick release. Okay, now that I've dropped the pin, take the top off. Let's see what we've got. Well, plenty of liquid, maybe too much. Take out a bay leaf. There's the other bay leaf. Oh, geez. It's plenty spicy. Now we add the shrimp and parsley. Mix it in. Well, now I just wait and see what the family thinks.
Tasty.
As good as the jambalaya at Jazz Fest?
Sure, Dan.